The FIFA World Cup, the biggest and most prestigious tournament in all of football. Every 4 years, nations from across the globe fight for glory. Teams from Europe, South America, Africa, Asia, and beyond, all chasing the same dream: to write history, to make their people proud. Legends are born here, heartbreaks are written here, and only the very best survive. At the end of it all, there can only be one nation holding that golden trophy. And in this video, I'll explain why I believe Portugal could be that nation in 2026. To understand why Portugal can win, you need to look at their track record. This isn't a country that only talks. They've already won. The best example is Euro 2016. Nobody believed in them, yet they beat France in Paris, with Eder scoring that unforgettable winner. That wasn't luck. That was mentality, resilience, and unity. 3 years later, in 2019, they became the first ever Nations League champion, beating the Netherlands. And this wasn't a weak Netherlands side. It was a team led by Virgil van Dijk, Matthijs de Ligt, Frenkie de Jong, all in top form. Portugal handled that final perfect. That matters because it shows they can perform against world-class opposition. And most recently, they won the Nations League final against Spain, one of the strongest and most technically gifted teams in football. If you can beat Spain in a final, you can beat anyone. These are not friendly results. They're real trophies. Portugal knows what it takes to win knockout tournaments, and that's something only a few nations can say. Now, the difference between those past wins in 2026 is the level of the squad. In 2016, Portugal was decent, but the team wasn't stacked with world-class players in every position. They relied heavily on organization and Ronaldo's presence. Even in 2019, the bench couldn't match the starting 11. Fast forward to today. This team has transformed. Almost every position now has 2 or 3 elite options. If a right back gets injured, they have another ready. If a striker is off form, there are replacements. That's what separates teams who make deep runs from teams who actually win it all. This is a squad that can rotate, stay fresh, and adapt to different opponents. Portugal finally has that kind of depth, the kind that gives a team a real chance to go all the way. The biggest reason for Portugal's depth is the new generation. Vitinha, dominating midfield battles in the Champions League with PSG. João Neves, only 20, but already dictating games for PSG like a seasoned pro. Nuno Mendes, explosive, probably the best left back in the world. He had an insane game in the Nations League final against Spain. When he came home and took out his keys from his pocket, he found Lamine Yamal there. That's how completely he shut him down. These 3 players are just a small sample of the talent in this squad. The team is stacked with world-class players in nearly every position, giving Portugal options and flexibility unlike ever before. Injuries, suspensions, or off days don't cripple them anymore. There's always someone ready to step up. That kind of depth is what separates good teams from genuine title contenders. Compared to Portugal's past, the difference is night and day. In 2006, the team had legends like Figo, Deco, and Carvalho, but beyond the starting 11, options quickly dropped. In 2016, they won with grit and determination, but the squad wasn't stacked across every position. In 2026, the starting 11 is world-class, and the bench could almost form another top-tier team. That balance of experience, youth, and depth is what makes this Portugal side a true golden generation. Of course, no team wins a World Cup without the right coach. For Portugal, Roberto Martinez could be that missing piece. He's no rookie. He took Belgium's golden generation all the way to a World Cup semi-final in 2018, even beating Brazil along the way. He knows how to manage egos, build a balanced team, and handle the pressure of knockout football. With Portugal, he has even more tools. Unlike Belgium, where the squad depth outside the starting 11 was limited, Martinez now has options everywhere. That flexibility is huge in a tournament. No 2 opponents are the same. He also brings calmness. Portugal has sometimes struggled with discipline and consistency in big tournaments. Martinez's job is to give this team structure, so the talent can shine without chaos. And so far, the results show he's doing just that. Portugal has looked sharper, more confident, and more complete since he took over. If this squad is the engine, Martinez is the driver. And in 2026, he might be the one who finally guides them all the way. Of course, we can't ignore Cristiano Ronaldo. By 2026, he'll be 41. A lot of people think that means he won't matter anymore. But actually, his role could be more important than ever. Think about it. This is the one trophy missing from his career. He's won the Champions League, he's won domestic titles, he's won the Euros, but never the World Cup. This is the last piece of the puzzle. Even if he isn't starting every game, even if he's not the Ronaldo of old, his presence will inspire the squad. Imagine being one of the younger players, knowing you could help Ronaldo win the only trophy missing from his legendary career. That motivation alone is powerful. Players will run harder, fight more, and push themselves to the limit because they know what it would mean. Not just for them, but for their captain. And let's be real, even at 41, Ronaldo can still deliver moments. A late header, a clutch penalty, a free kick when it matters most. He doesn't need to play 90 minutes every match. He just needs to be there when it counts. And having that weapon on the bench or on the pitch in key moments could be the difference in a knockout game. Ronaldo's last dance might just inspire Portugal to go all the way. One of the most dangerous things in football is a talented team with something to prove. Portugal has that right now. They've been labeled as underdogs for years. Even with Ronaldo, people never truly saw them as World Cup favorites. That means the pressure isn't on them. It's on France, on Argentina, on Brazil. Portugal can come in focused, hungry, and with a chip on their shoulder. And let's not forget, this is a nation that knows heartbreak. They've been close before. Semifinals, quarterfinals, near misses. That pain fuels hunger. Add that to the winning experience they already have from 2016 and 2019, and you've got a squad that isn't just talented, but mentally ready for the biggest stage. So, can Portugal win the 2026 World Cup? Absolutely. They've proven they can win, and now their squad has evolved into one of the deepest in the world. A new golden generation has arrived at the perfect moment with a coach who knows how to get the best out of them, and they'll be playing with more hunger than ever, for themselves, for their country, and for Ronaldo's last chance. Don't be surprised if it's Portugal lifting that golden trophy in North America. But I want to hear what you think. Who's your pick to win the World Cup? Drop it in the comments, hit like if you enjoyed this, and subscribe for more football content. I'll see you in the next one.